What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Civilization 5 with the Europe AI only battle. I hope you're enjoying it so far. It seems like everyone is. We are at turn 332, so I think we'll hit 350 some point in this video. So my plan is I will stop and then go do the results. Now, I'm not exactly sure how long that will make this, so that might get a bit awkward, but we'll try and work it out. Obviously, it's a bit awkward having the results just sort of thrown in the middle and then we keep going. But, the speed's been going fine, actually, since a few of the smaller civs have been picked off recently. It's going quicker. So, yeah, I think it's not necessarily a huge issue yet, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure when we're going to hit 350. It's 18 turns. We've got an hour today, so I'm sure we'll get that far. But yeah, we'll see. And then beyond that, I'm not really sure what the plan is. I think I definitely want to get to 500, but obviously I don't know if we'll do that in video format. Sure, you guys will also be keen to see me start up something new. I think I'll probably start planning the next one now. So, that is now very much in the thought process that, I do all the AI battle stuff at the weekends. It all gets recorded on Saturday and Sunday morning for the week ahead. So, in Russia, with some fantastic progress there. But yeah, essentially, I imagine I can very much see that by next weekend. Bearing in mind, this is the first one I'm recording this weekend. So, there's 2.5 hours this weekend of this, depending what we do with it. But yeah, by next weekend, I would not be surprised if at some point I maybe start the next one in some form. This one might still be going, but if we go into highlight sort of mode at some point, it'll probably finish a bit sooner. But there we go, Russia grabbing 2 cities off Poland and putting 2 more into very low health. So a fantastic start, and yeah, I don't think this is going to go well. Poland let their military slip a little too much. That war with Sweden took a bit out of them, I think. And yeah, obviously the war with the Goths as well. Meanwhile, Russia just kept building stuff, waited their turn, and here they go. Now, Assyria will get one shot at grabbing this city if they want to have any more progress, and they have failed. So Russia should grab that, and that will cut off Assyria from joining in too much on the fall of Poland here. But we will keep a close eye on things as they develop. Well, we got Morocco's turn. Here's Poland. They maybe grab something back. To be honest, I don't think they have the ability to. I mean, especially not this city. Look, it's completely... You wouldn't think it was on the border just a second ago, would you? It's now completely inside Russia's territory, and they didn't even get this one back. So yeah, I think Russia may be adding 2 more, potentially 3, depending on how much firepower they bring somewhere else. So yeah, fantastic news for anyone rooting for Russia. Portugal is the next civ into the information era. That's good for them. They've fallen behind a bit. Oh yeah, England v Rome is going on. A few big wars broke out. But I think for now, at least, that is going to stay as a tie. I think Rome may eventually come out on top. Is there anything else going on that I've forgotten? Like I said, it has been a week since I've sat here last time. The Dutch are fighting Greece on this island. Oh, okay. Well, they've snuck some boats around, and that's working for them. They are still fighting up here, but not much has happened with that yet. And I think the rest of Europe is pretty calm right now. I've had some fantastic mod suggestions and stuff as well. I will try and make sure we really max it out to the next game. But as I said, I don't actually have the idea whether it will be a world map thing or what. It probably will be, but I don't know. Or whether it will be one of those funky sort of ideas where I change the map up a little bit. But it'll probably be a bit more, a lot more. What's the word? Not innovative. I wouldn't say that. I don't know, it'd be a lot more custom. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it'll be a lot more... We'll take a bit more of a gamble. We'll introduce some different stuff. Yeah, it won't be as plain as this one was. This was just to do one on the new PC, see how it all goes. But yeah, the next one will certainly have some kind of unique twists to it. Getting back to the ones that really did do the best. If you remember the Health and Plagues one, and the historic spawn dates one, obviously, was very popular. Something of that sort of nature, maybe. Something really game-changing. Like, so I can change the title from it just being Europe Battle, World Battle. Something title and thumbnail changing worthy, if that makes any sense. But yeah, they only grabbed 1 city, Russia. But it does, as I said, it was the former Goths' capital. And it does cut Assyria off from conquering any more. And there is now 2 fairly low cities and plenty of sieges going on around Poland's borders. I think this city's just recovering from Sweden. But yeah, Russia, they could grab so much here because they are unrelenting. Look, there's at least 4 walls of units here, 5 in some places. And there's a lot more that can, obviously if they grab this city, all of these units can then move and swing round to reinforce. So this is going to be pretty brutal for Poland. Probably going to knock them out of the top 10 if it really, if it does not go well at all. They start to really lose stuff. I mean, they were pretty high in there, I think, so they've got to fall quite a way. Like if there was a peace deal now, I think they'd still be okay, but obviously it looks like Russia more than happy to keep going. But at least for now, some good news. Poland re-grabs their city. Not sure how long that will last. Assyria will now get to attack it again. No, they've already been. The Garamantes, I think, go last. They are actually... This is crazy. I'm just looking around the map. There's only 2 modded civs still alive in this game. That is Mercuria and the Garamantes. The rest are all not vanilla, but they're all official part of the game or DLC civs. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. Was there that many mods? I don't know. Belgium was a mod. That might have been it, to be honest. The more I look around. Was that it? Really? The Goths are gone, Walachia's gone. Yeah, mainland Europe was sort of... Because I didn't want to overpack it, I guess it was just full of base game civs. Was there any out this way? The Sumer were here. Yeah, there wasn't actually that many mods in this one. Mali was here, and obviously they went as well. Yeah, there wasn't too many mods. There's only like 6 or 7. But they are all gone now, regardless. All have fallen. Right, here we go, Russia. Actually, I'll keep an eye on Rome. Rome just went, but actually they have not made much progress against Santiago here of England, but somehow Seville is in the red. I think this must have been... I guess it's just planes, but I thought maybe a nuke, maybe? Yes, okay, there we go. There is the radiation. The city of Seville, which has changed hands quite a few times this series, was nuked. It is the first city. It wasn't one of the bigger ones. That's at least some good news for Rome. It wasn't Barcelona. I don't think they'd nuke this one, because they might hit France. But, some of these other cities could still be a little nervous. Does Rome not have any nukes to respond with? No, that is quite sad. But there you go, England pulling their party piece, I guess. Well, a few civs have them now, but that is the first one we've seen actively used. I had a suspicion one was used somewhere else, and I just didn't see it before the radiation was cleared up. But I think that might be... There's a good chance. I'd say it's 70% likely that was the first one. Songhai. Ooh, this is big, because the Songhai are definitely climbing those rankings, especially after devouring Mali with the help of Morocco, and now I think they should have an advantage here against Morocco. So we're going to see the Songhai continue to climb, as is Russia. They're on the way up at the moment in the ascendancy. Mongolia, Poland, and Morocco will be on the way down in those rankings. Morocco versus Greece. That was not good timing, Morocco. You've just been invaded, but okay. They might have promised to do it before, the 10 turns thing. Said we'll declare war in 10 turns, and now that's backfired for them. But there you go. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Greece isn't very close. And the Garamantes, so they probably had a deal with like the Garamantes or something. And in fact, just like that, the Netherlands boats that have all died did the hard work. But the Garamantes come away with a city very quickly. And this could up the pressure on Greece. They're still fighting the Netherlands just about okay. And there we go. The Netherlands was embargoed, I saw there. And I think the World's Fair or something was the other one. So there you go. Here's score. It's not obviously a great way of judging it, but we can have a look just for fun. England in the 1000 club. Russia just ahead of them. I would not expect those two to be as close as they are. England's actually quite ahead of Rome. Songhai's just behind. A lot of these civs are dead, but just have a unit wandering around, so don't worry about them. The Netherlands doing very well at 1000. Yeah, Syria's well out in front. The game still actually has Poland in 3rd. What do Russia have? No, Russia in 5th. Netherlands and Russia are very sort of neck and neck. 2nd and 3rds at the moment, but we'll see what happens between those two. And there we go. What did we see? We just missed some stuff, real big stuff go down. First of all, the Songhai grabbing a city off Morocco only took them a turn, although they are going to lose this one. The Garamantes have not made more progress yet. Oh no, did they? No, this is Greece attacking them, or their island. The Netherlands are finally pushing into this city in northern Greece. And Russia grabbed back Arheimer. They also took Łódź, and they now have Gdansk in very low health. So we could see a couple more next turn, or definitely in the next few turns, and it's going to be painful for Poland. This is sad. They were doing quite well, looked like they were having a good time, and now all of a sudden, I mean, I said I wanted it for ages, so I can't say anything. I played a part in this, I guess. I was asking for it for a while from a content perspective, so here we go. Poland is going to have a turn to fight back and do some more damage, but they didn't regain anything, which is always painful. And Morocco did actually steal away this city off the Songhai, but they just don't look like they can compete in this. I'm sorry. They're trying their best. They really are. It's just not to be sometimes. These turns are going really quick, actually. Wow. Okay, turn 336. Well, I guess what we've done 4 in 10 minutes. That's not too bad. 2.5 minutes, and there's plenty going on as well, which really helps. France has now completed the Manhattan project. They've just seen a big mushroom cloud and went, we want to do that too. The Netherlands and Greece, after all that, have peaced out as soon as it was starting to go well. But that means the Netherlands might do something else. Russia grabs the city of Gdansk and comes closer to grabbing this one as well, which I assume is not going to be connected. Oh no, there's still a slither of borders there. But Greece v the Garamantes still ongoing, and there's a fight for Crete at the moment. We'll see who comes out on top in that one. And Attila has just entered the atomic era. There you go, he's trying. I mean, he could really... I'd say he could do some damage. If he just attacked Russia right now, I think it would do damage, but I don't know if it would work. Also, what the heck is this? Oh, the stasis chamber. That's the part I forgot about. No one corrected me in the comments yet, but there we go. That was the spaceship part. I don't think Assyria has one of those, unless I've missed it. Which means Russia could, in theory, nab the space victory in a few turns. I mean, credit if they do. I guess it's a production thing. I don't know if... These cities probably don't have the best production, right? They're quite flat desert areas, even with all the population. Whereas somewhere like Moscow... I don't know, is Moscow got any mines? Not really, but one of these cities will probably have a lot of mines. Poland, with a good recovery turn. Grabbing back Łódź and Gdansk. That's quite good. We'll see. I'm very nervous that the Dutch are going to attack them. I think it might be the betrayal. Well, at the moment they have open borders. We could see Antwerp like drop in one turn. Hamburg could go pretty quickly, and Warsaw then could be, it could be the race to Warsaw between the Dutch and Russia. And a border between those two, that would be pretty big. World's Fair is now 64%. It's because it's done so late, like 64%. They've all got so much production. Probably doesn't take much to contribute quite a lot to that. Right, here we go. England, how are you holding off? Yeah, England's holding off fine. Haven't used any more nukes by the look of it. But yeah, that probably deterred Rome at least a little bit and allows England to hold on to their territory in western France. I still can't get over those citadels. That's great placement. Probably really hurting France as well. Paris and Orleans. Oh my goodness, Russia with a big response. 3 cities in one turn, all bordering each other. They haven't used any nukes yet. What is this border gore here? What is this little tail? Don't even know what city that's come from, but there you go. It's mostly where civs have settled, like, you see these not given many tiles. It's where, like, Poland settled a later city. Like, they just put this in their borders they already had. So you get a bit messy for what is not handed over. But there we go. Russia with 3 cities in one turn. Expanding that border. I really hope they keep going now. I cannot bear to play the rest of the game with this tail just poking through. Very weird sort of borders there. Right, Morocco. How are you doing? We haven't read about you struggling too much, although Fez is definitely going to drop here. Okay, you have 3 cities. I don't know. This one's not under this siege, I guess, but yeah, they're doing a lot of damage to you. But Morocco is putting up a brave fight. Łódź has fallen again, which now means they have an encirclement of Gdansk, at least for now. So yeah, Poland probably just had all these borders anyway and then settled this inside of it. So that makes a lot of sense. But Russia should probably get that straight back. Carthage has been captured by the Garamantes. Oh, Greece did have Carthage. Of course, the Garamantes should have got it, and they let it get stolen away. But there we go. They grabbed that city in North Africa. What else we got? Has anyone made it through this mountain? These mountains have held strong. Look, no one's teleported through them like the European mountains, where some civs have snuck through. The Huns have a privateer in this lake somehow. I don't even know how that is possible, because like you can't build a privateer in this city. But whatever. Not gonna argue with them. They build what they want. It doesn't matter to me too much. Just build what you need to build, I guess. Um, Iceland still with a very good population of 32. Well, it's England in Iceland, obviously. English Iceland. Big war. Biggest war we've seen so far. The Ottomans taking on Sweden. That's what we've been waiting for. What's this? Łódź has been captured by Russia again, but they have now also put Poznan down to about half health. So they should be able to get through there as well. And it's beginning to get a little scary. Warsaw coming into sight. And there we go. Fez, one of Mongolia, Morocco's biggest cities. Mongolia are getting a lot of mentions today when they're not supposed to. But there you go. Morocco still struggling. It's 2-1 in the cities. The Songhai have gained 2. Morocco did take one back, but we're probably going to see the Songhai continue to grow here, up their score. They used to do this all the time, and then they've been struggling recently, but it's nice. They tend to have really good late game performances. They're normally a medium tier civ, and then they just do something really good at the end. And it looks like they're back to their usual ways. Now, you know, after a while of being pretty trash. But there we go. Morocco does respond and does reconquer Fez, at least for now. Portugal still very quiet. They have plenty of units. I mean, if Rome gets weak enough, I think that might be the shout, right? That might be what we could expect. Though Rome does have plenty of boats still defending this, you know, Rome itself and the Mediterranean. But yeah, Portugal could definitely put them under a bit more pressure. Looks like they've recovered. Looks like the radiation has been cleared up. So that's at least something, I guess, for the people of Seville. It's grown back pretty quickly too. And there we go. The World's Fair, not taking too long. Assyria well out in front, putting in the most production. So they will now get a 100% culture boost for 20 turns. A free social policy, or ideology tenor at this point. And 500 points towards their next golden age. Then quite a drop. We have Russia, Portugal, the Netherlands, Rome, Greece, Mercuria, France, England, Attila, the Huns, and Morocco. That is a big variety of points, all the way from 350 or more. It's not a percentage like it is in Civ 6. They have 350 or more, so that's everyone here getting the social policy and the golden age, and then the points to the golden age. Only Sweden got that, and then Poland, obviously building units right now, and Egypt. I don't know, they just didn't try. And then I don't know if any of these civs are actually still alive and didn't try it. The Garamantes were the only one who was still... Oh, and the Songhai just didn't even bother. They weren't interested in the cultural stuff. Fair enough. Do what you need to do. Okay, so the Garamantes just about holding on to these cities. It's been a pretty even war, but I think they have the naval advantage at least. France v Sweden? No, nothing's gonna... That's nothing. Nothing's gonna happen. I mean, there's a border here again, but it's so small. Poland has got the big peace deal they were waiting for with the Ottomans again. Of course, the terrifying Ottomans of this game. And there we go. Russia has grabbed the city of Poznan in the northern part of Poland. There is still more northern cities, but there we go. That's a big one. Oh my goodness, 3 cities just fell to the Songhai. Fez here, Wodan, and Katsina. So they are making progress on all 3 fronts, and oh my goodness, the Netherlands versus Poland. It is happening, and there you go. Antwerp dropping instantly, just straight away, like you didn't even see it. Boom. Yeah, this is it for Poland now. It is going to get pretty quick. Salzburg also into the red. So the Dutch will at least end the border war, where they have Linz here, and they will probably get a border with Russia. But this is pretty big. I mean, I feel for Poland. They are now fighting... I think they were the 4th strongest military when this broke out, if not, maybe 5th or 6th, but they are up against the top 3, and the only 3 that were above 1 million, if I remember correctly, in the Netherlands, Russia, and Assyria technically as well. Obviously, they're not over here, not making a big fuss. Are Poland going to grab anything back? No, not really. And now they're spread in 2 directions. Morocco didn't grab anything either. That's what I was gonna say, and then Poland had their turn, so they forced me to change. I just said Poland grabbing anything back instead, but neither of them grabbing stuff back, so it's a shame for them. See what Sweden get up to. Sweden is loving this, because this definitely helps them. They were sort of on the edge of the top 10. I think they were probably in there, but I wasn't quite sure. But this certainly helps them solidify a place as Egypt completes the Manhattan Project. So they now have access to nuclear weapons, or can build them slowly. We'll see. Obviously, them and Mercuria could... I feel like there's a rivalry there. I feel like they've still got such gross borders as well. Like all Mercury have got 4 separate sections to their empire. Look, they got northeast here. That's cut off from this city, which is cut off from this city, which is cut off from these cities. 39 population now in Dongola. Not the biggest we've ever seen. We had that weird game where Samoa got something like 52 on an island, but Samoa is very good at getting food, so that must be why. I think so anyway. They must have some food related ability as the mod. I don't know, I don't check them all. Sometimes we accidentally let some OP ones get through there. Vietnam used to be really good. Until they got their unique unit, which couldn't capture cities, and then they just were stupid. But apart from that, they were pretty good. Who else? Croatia. I think they were bugged a little bit, apparently. Or they're just really strong. I don't know. But we have had them before as well. Not on a TSL game, actually. They were in the competitions that I've done. Like when I did the World Cup a few years ago. We would do some more stuff. There's an Olympics this year. Maybe we'll come up with something for that. Or hopefully there's an Olympics, maybe. And what is that? There's the European Championships in football as well. So maybe there is some tournaments we can try and copy. Do some stuff based around in Civ. That could be fun. Again, hopefully those events go ahead. Maybe I could just put one on instead. It seems like they will, I think. I don't know whether there'll be like people allowed to go, but there will definitely probably be the event. I feel like they have to, because you can't cancel the Olympics too many times, because then you've got the next Olympics coming up. Same goes for obviously the European Championships, because the World Cup's next year, so you just get into a bit of a mess. Right, the Dutch did not grab anything this turn, surprisingly, but they do have 2 cities that they should get next turn. Russia has not really sieged anything out this turn. They've just solidified their hold on what they've already got. They should probably go after Reclaw next. I think Russia does go first. Oh, they have a giant death robot. That is... AI rarely builds these. It probably means they've got the nuclear missile and just didn't want an atomic bomb. But yeah, there you go. It looks pretty cool there, just walking around. I think that's the only one. So that's, you know, that's kind of cool. Just to see it there. I use them actually when I set up the games to kill some of the civs that I have to move. I kill their old units and stuff. And I just opt for the giant death robot to 100% guarantee that I don't lose the fights against warriors. But yeah, that is pretty cool. Giant death robot. You know what? If Civ 6, if they're definitely not, but if they were watching right now, you wanted some ideas for some more features, or some of your game modes, or like the apocalypse mode. How about in the end game when there's giant death robots? What if you had to have... What if Godzilla could come out of the water and, you know, start rampaging, and you had to have giant death robots to fight them off? That'd be pretty cool, like a kaiju mode. There you go. Hire me up. Right, Salzburg has fallen to the Netherlands, and so has Hamburg, so that was a very good turn for them. It's kind of a fight now for second, isn't it, really? The Netherlands v Russia, and I guess anyone else that might be in there. I, again, haven't really checked. You know, I'm not studying the info addicts at all times to see who's going to win, but... Well, we know who's going to win, but second. But yeah, Poland definitely falling off of that list. They should survive to the end of the game, or at least to the results, which is 9 turns, just because I don't think all of this will fall in 9 turns. Maybe I'm wrong. But I also think this city sort of gives them a bit of an added layer of protection as well. You know, to stay alive. Not really doing too much in the game, but we'll keep them alive. I don't know if anyone could really take it out other than England. I guess France and the Netherlands. I guess the Netherlands could. If they walked around. Wait, did Russia? Oh, Russia just walked their giant death robot in. They're not afraid. I guess England or France probably. The Netherlands can still squeeze through if they wanted to, but it's a bit awkward. In fact, the Dutch Navy seems to have dissipated. I think they've sent a lot of it out into the Atlantic, so it's just spread out more, but it doesn't seem as big as it used to. I don't know if Poland's nuclear submarines have killed quite a bit since this begun. So those are pretty advanced units themselves. Undetectable. A lot of civs have them actually. Sweden also with nuclear subs. I don't think they use uranium, do they? So they're always a pretty good few units. It's always good to have a couple of nuclear submarines just to go around and shoot someone, you know, down, take out their units. Pretty good. Russia is XCOM squad dropping troops over here. I'm not sure why. Not really where you need to be, but okay. Here is Russia's turn. And they add Reclaw, their giant death robot. Took a bit of damage, but there you go. They make some progress. It's another city, and one of the coastal ones as well. That could be really brutal. If Poland loses both their coastal cities, these boats will be trapped here and just being bombarded constantly. That is an awful fate. Although, not like there's really a nice fate at the moment. I guess a peace deal. The people of Warsaw, one of the only cities to not yet have been... In fact, it's the only... These two cities of Poland are the two that haven't had any damage inflicted. I guess this one hasn't. I don't know, maybe it did at some point. But yeah, Warsaw and Graz are sort of the best places to be right now, as Klagenfurt is under siege again from the Netherlands. Bregenz, they might take 2 cities this turn again. We'll find out very, very shortly. Oh, very close. Both of them down to very low health. And Russia should probably add Krakow this turn as well. So, more progress being made. Wow. This is a huge war. And the Netherlands... They just couldn't resist anymore. They didn't want to backstab their friend, but here we go. And it will probably come down to a race to get Warsaw, because I think they're both going to, in their next individual turns, Russia probably gets Krakow, which will be their 8th or 7th or 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Their 9th city off of Poland already. The Netherlands have already grabbed 2. No, 3 if you include Antwerp. Klagenfurt and Bregenz would be 4 and 5. Russia could have stole that with the XCOM squad, but they didn't quite manage it. Yeah, 4 and 5 will probably be for the Netherlands. I think they've both failed, actually, this turn. So, next turn. But yeah, then obviously you're just looking at Warsaw and Graz, and then it's a bit of a race. They're both here. I mean, the Dutch are already outside Warsaw. Russia is as well, in theory, with XCOM squads that have pushed a bit further ahead. The Garamantes versus Greece, it's not leading to any cities falling. This island is probably going to fall, but that's it. And the Songhai, sort of holding on to what they've taken at the moment. This is obviously a massive border, so it gets a little bit complicated. But there we go, right, here we go. Russia's turn is first. I think it's pretty early in the order. England will take their turn. It takes a while, but they are just holding off Rome pretty valiantly. Well, not valiant, I don't know. They're just defending themselves. They're doing fine. Doesn't look like... I don't even think that city's come under siege at any point, so that's a really good job. Here we go, Krakow. Maybe they'll steal the Klagenfurt here as well, I guess. Oh no, there's a paratrooper in the way. They could also steal this. I don't know if the XCOM squad couldn't quite do it, no. But there you go, Krakow does fall to Russia. Please end this terrible border war. There we go, the tail is gone. Yeah, I don't think there was a tail. It used to just be a huge blob, and then obviously Poland settled this city, which created the tail, because it was just awarded the tiles around it. Like before, Krakow just had all of this space. But there you go, Russia adding another city as they continue their push forward. They've gained so much land out of this. All these cities are really close, but like there's a lot of land here in this gap that's come their way. And there you go, the Netherlands add Klagenfurt to the north, the former Swedish city. They also add Bregenz, which was Austrian, of course. It feels so long ago now, Poland and Austria teaming up on the Netherlands. It's sad, isn't it, to see. But there we go, Bregenz and Klagenfurt falling, and the Dutch becoming much stronger too, and the race for Warsaw begins. Well, Graz is there too, but I think Warsaw will probably go first because it's not by a mountain. But we'll see. I mean, they'll probably both fall at similar times. In fact, Graz has a higher city defense, so we'll see. But yeah, this is Poland's last stand in the mainland. They still have a bit of Scandinavia, but you know, this is... Oh, what a tragic ending. If I'd have done the results at turn 300, Poland probably would have been 3rd or 4th. Think about that. They were ahead of Russia probably in other categories, right? Russia, I think, had better science and a slightly bigger military, not massively bigger. But in everything else, I think it was okay to say Poland was probably doing better. And now, just extending it, 100 turns more than I used to do it, 50 more than I thought we might do it, and yeah, they might not even exist in 6 turns. They probably will have one city, but I don't think they'll be making the top 10. But there you go. I guess they can have an honourable mention. They tried their best, didn't quite succeed. Who did I pick to win? I feel like I picked the Netherlands, but at the same time I feel like I picked them before, so maybe I didn't pick the Netherlands. I don't even know if I picked anybody. I always do this, and you guys remind me. You have better memories than me. I mean, the fact that Assyria is winning, I didn't pick them, so I probably just gave up. Something tells me I normally pick Austria or the Netherlands. I feel like I went for the Netherlands this time because I saw they were doing well. Obviously, I had an hour to go by instead of 15 minutes like we used to. What's this? Morocco have lost another city. I don't know which one this is actually. Where is this one? Oh, up here in the north. So the Songhai do now have a land border with Portugal. That could be quite interesting. And they are sending some units. Oh, they're going to get Rabat here, which is 27 population. That is pretty big. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty pretty big. Ooh, okay, so Russia has the advantage here because they have all the access by melee units, but this mobile SAM could sneak in, I guess. But Russia goes next, so I think they might have the job done. We will see. Actually, I don't know. Assyria. Maybe the Netherlands haven't been yet, but I don't think they have enough to get it done this turn. Surely not. Would be very impressive if they did. Morocco's turn. Are they going to grab their thing back? I don't think so, because it was very isolated. Oh, Poland's been, so there you go. I think, yeah, the Netherlands have not been yet, surely. Just trying to remember the order. I think the Dutch... No, they have been. Yeah, they are in the same pack as Poland. Maybe? I don't know. I think they're both Brave New World civs. Maybe Poland's Gods and Kings? No, I think they are Brave New World. But there we go. Let's assign some delegates. What are they voting on? Oh, it's just World Leader. Doesn't matter too much. I saw 16 votes. No one's got like the 50 you need to be the world leader. So that's okay. We don't have to worry about that issue. Okay, here we go. France, Greece. What's next? Come on, who's gonna make some big progress here? Who's gonna surprise us? Do something big. New research agreements? Let's have a look. It's sometimes fun just to dig in here. Rome and Mercuria. Rome and the Huns. There you go, Rome. Trying to improve their scientific output. I mean, they must all be getting pretty close to the end. And there you go. Russia is the civ to get Warsaw. So there you go. That is the fall of Poland's capital. And a big new border in Europe. Russia and the Netherlands. I mean, I feel like we'll probably just see those two go to war in a few turns. And then it will just be, you know, a real scrap. I think the Dutch have an advantage now. They're behind in technology, but they obviously gained less from this war. But I don't know, they do look like they're stacked. Now Russia looks like the civ that's got a lot of empty spaces behind and open. All of this is empty. Whereas the Dutch are full all the way. You know, I said Russia had like 5 rows of military. The Netherlands have like 10. Going backwards. We'll have a look in just a second. I assume they're going to fight each other. Maybe at some point. We probably will see it. This tab, I just want to open it because I know if I do info addicts mid-turn, it might break. We'll look at that in a second. I just want to check some things. England still leading for population. That's quite impressive. Assyria winning most things. Portugal currently has the biggest military. I mean, these ones are all, you know, losing units. The Netherlands, Russia. So that does make sense. That someone else is the biggest. And Portugal was probably up there. A bit surprised Assyria's not up there. They're not really doing anything. But I feel like they're running out of tiles and resources. And maybe money as well. Obviously becoming a factor. The Songhai did grab Rabat and then lost it again. But pretty big. Oh, I didn't. Okay, fine. We can look. It'll be fine. There's Assyria. Poland was second on score, and they're still right in. They're about 7th at the moment because obviously score is based on a lot of other things. Bit different to how we work out the results. But yeah, Poland is still above Rome apparently. I mean, I don't know how, but there you go. But the Russia's actually gone down despite all this success. I don't know if maybe this war's been going on for longer. Oh no, that's Russia. Is that Russia? And no, that's the Netherlands. Where's Russia? Yeah, Russia is sort of parallel to the Netherlands almost exactly, I believe. Yeah, look at that. They're actually dead equal right now. Russia's had a big jump up. Sorry, that was the wrong yellow line. Confused me because they both sort of merged into one, but there we go. Right, World Factbook. I just want to see manpower. The Netherlands are 1 million. Okay, so they got 100k more than Russia. Not a huge difference. Okay, technologies. Russia is at 80. Okay, so they actually knocked Assyria off top spot. Okay, I need to remember that for the results, but apart from that, it's fine. That may have proved that all of my info addicts are a fraud, so let's ignore that and move on. I think they're not if I don't open the game again, but obviously that was an issue because Syria's been at 80 for a while. There's no way Russia got there first. I don't know. I'll do the normal method. I don't think Assyria won't mind. It's not a contentious point, right? Assyria's not going to lose, I guess, if I give them 9 instead of 10 there. Manhattan Project for Morocco, but it's probably going to be too little too late, sadly. Also for the Garamantes, which could be useful. Still not much between them and Greece, but they have managed to almost completely obliterate each other's army, particularly Greece. They look very open right now. If the Netherlands gets a quick peace deal with Poland, wouldn't be surprised if they came and tried to attack Greece, or Assyria might be up for it at the moment. Greece looking very spread thin right now. They could be next. This could be the next section of the map to have some drastic change. But here we go, the final city. I think Russia just went. No, actually, no, they haven't. I think they're next. So are they going to get this too? And the Dutch, maybe the Netherlands left it a few turns too late to join in. We'll find out. Yeah, there you go. Russia grabbing the city of Graz as well. So a fantastic effort from Russia. That is definitely going to pump them up the leaderboard right at the end here. The Songhai have grabbed the city of Rabat off of Morocco. This city's at 0 health, so we may see the Songhai get that as well. Sweden's still around. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Who is attacking? Okay, Sweden's actually making... Okay, so the Dutch are probably going to kill Poland off altogether with all these boats that just turned up. They are all destroyers, so it might take a while, but they'll get that done. But Sweden is actually putting pressure on this French city. That'd be quite big, because I feel like Sweden and France might be close. I'm not sure. They might be very far apart, but they might be close. So one city is just switching from France to Sweden. Could make a huge difference, you know, the extra land points, potentially, extra city, you know, that might knock you up if they're equal. I'm not going to look too deep into it, but there you go. Could make a difference, right? Bit of extra culture per turn, science per turn, it could all add up to some extra points. Mercuria has completed the Apollo program. These turds are getting really quick. Oh my goodness, we're on the Garamantes again. They just fly by, and then the Garamantes take forever. Of course they do. But 2 turns to go. Yeah, what we'll do is, there's about 20 minutes left, which is probably how long it takes me to break through the info addicts and the results. So that'll be perfect. So yeah, we'll wrap up this episode with the results. So I'll cut and come back with once I've counted them. So there we go. I might do it with a spreadsheet today. I'm feeling a little bit smart about it. Not smart, you know, serious about this. Normally I just do it. I used to write it in a notepad. Then I switched to putting it on my phone and doing a run-in tally. I'll probably just do that, to be honest. It's easier. There's not actually that many civs this time. Normally the problem is there's like 25 civs that score points, and you have to find them all. Try not to write down anyone's name twice and have 2 tallies. But and with paper, the issue is obviously I used a tally chart, and there was too many lines, really. Like, it just got too big. And then I had to count all the lines. But here, yeah, with the Notes app, you can just do a running tally. So there we go. I'll just do that again as normal. It's a lot easier for me. Save the environment, kind of. Not really. I mean, I'm not using the paper, but I have the paper, so I don't know. We'll just save it for a more meaningful use. I don't know. And then obviously I'm using my phone, so that's probably not great for the environment either. But never mind. We'll move on. We try our best, you know. What can we do? It's not like I leave the massive PC running to edit stuff and render stuff and run these games well past the end, what should be the theoretical sort of end point. But is there anyone who can, in the final turn, because once this turn is at one more turn then before the results, who is going to have Egypt has finished. That is it, them done. They're happy with their position. England's final turn, they should be fine. Just do enough to make sure Rome doesn't grab this city, at least this turn. France, I don't think there's anything for them to do. Oh, there we go. Greece did actually grab a city. They grabbed Crete back. Or did they? I don't know, whoever had this, but yeah, Greece has got this now. I think it was Greek, but the Garamantes stole it ages ago, and now the Greece has got it back. But I mean, like, you know, the last time they fought, not now. But there we go, Greece does get that back. Songhai with their final turn, they do steal away one more island. They nearly got Marrakesh. That is really, you know, a couple more turns, they would have got it. So that's a bit of a shame for them. But good news for Morocco, I guess. Sweden's final turn. I have missed some of these civs, I do apologise. Oh, they just missed out on grabbing Tra up there. There you go, I'll give you the full attempt of French. And the Dutch, I think, missed out on quite eliminating Poland before the results. I don't know if they have any, you know, they'll have some of these civs have random units walking around. I won't count those in the info addict, so if someone just happens to be like text research 60 but dead completely with no cities, they won't get any points. So I don't know, the Suma is the one that it just said had their turn. I know they're not gonna. They probably won't be in that situation. But I'm sure there's a Civ somewhere. Had Poland died, but still had a unit alive, and they would probably still be sort of top 10 in some categories for some weird reason. Things that are based on the past. Text researched, cultures. Obviously, they lead the social policy thing. So, but as they still have a city, they will still get points. But yeah, anyone who loses a city or has no cities won't get any points. But there we go. That is our tech list. We are at turn 350. I don't know how to do this without making it awkward, but we will cut back once I've processed the results. I hope you have enjoyed so far. I'm not sure what sort of the plan will be. I'm going to record another hour of this later today, so I think we'll just continue to do it episodically for now at least. But yeah, I am aware time is passing. We might want to try speed it up. If there's a point where enough people start telling me let's speed it up, that's fine. But at the moment I think you guys are happy with it. I'm gauging there still seems to be a good amount of retained viewers. People coming back, views compared to the last episode. It seems like we're holding on to most of you. We lose a few each time, but it's still ticking along nicely. So yeah, I'll go and calculate the results, and then yeah, I'll come back with them in a second. We'll go over the info addicts and all the other statistics as well, just as it ends. But yeah, there you go. I went and calculated them. I went and did the maths. Hopefully it was all right. Every Civ managed to score some points, so I thought we'd start with some honourable mentions. I think every Civ did squeeze in and grab points that is still alive. Actually, no, one Civ did not, and that's quite wait, how the heck? Okay, one Civ didn't, and I have no idea how, because I didn't even see them remotely close to the top of any list, which is really weird. Okay, sorry to that one Civ. We'll go over that. Okay, so, and weirdly enough, it was not the Ottomans, which I know. The Ottomans, we'll start with the honourable mentions of Civs that did get some points and just didn't get in. As you know, we use most of the info addicts. Some of them are not used. I'll clarify that as we go through them as to why, etc. But yeah, we go through most of them. If you come first, you get 10 points. Second is 9. Third is 8th. And 10th place gets 1 point, and then that's it. So there is a hard cut-off. So there is a flaw in the system. If you come 11th every time, you are going to lose to a Civ that probably just wins one category. Which kind of, Poland definitely boosted their score because they have the most social policies in the world. So that was 10 points for them. But they are still alive. I said if you still have a city left, it counts. So there we go. But yeah, Civs that still got points. The Ottomans got 1. It was a bit of a lucky one, to be honest, because there was a few. It was, I think, on happiness. And I had to disqualify 3 of the Civs that were, that are already dead but still on the list with high happiness. So the Ottomans were 15th or 13th or 14th. I don't know exactly where they were. But they scored 1 point. So that's a bit lucky, but they did get 1. So I thought everyone had achieved it, but somehow one of the other bigger Civs messed up completely. The next lowest was a tie, Greece, 13 points. Again, that's kind of the 11th place sort of syndrome, I guess we could call it. And Mercuria also in a Mercuria were very unlucky. I don't know how they definitely must have been 11th place a load of times, stuff like that. Sadly for them, just missing out on points and never really dominating any category either. Usually you need a bit of both. You need to just get in the top 10 multiple times and dominate 1 or 2 categories that you've focused on. They didn't really do that. The next jump up is to 18 points for Egypt. Pretty similar. I think they did well in a couple of categories. They got a few 5th places. So that gave them a bit of a boost, essentially. That's why they're a bit higher than the others. Next was Poland. Like I said, they had a few lagging categories that really helped them out with the 22. They got 10 of those 22 points off social policies and some other things. Technologies, they were, I think, in the top 10. Stuff that has already happened in the past. Not science per turn or stuff like that. But there you go. They squeezed in. I think that was another surprising one they did quite well in. I can't remember now, but there you go. They got 22, so they missed out on the top 10 by 1 point, which I think is fair, because, they wouldn't have deserved to have beaten the Civ that came 10th, really, with how they look right now. So the poor Civ that just missed out, and I didn't even notice this, but Attila and the Huns, I don't want to spoil the top 10, but there you go. Attila just missed out. I don't know. He got 0. He must have come 12th or 13th every time. I know they are behind on technology by quite far at this point, but yeah, that surprised me, actually. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if something went wrong there. I don't think so. But yeah, they didn't score a single point. So I don't know how that happened. They must have just been 11th, 12th, 13th, every single time. Really unlucky. but they never even got in the top 10. And even on those sort of weird categories, they never like snuck in for just a bonus point like Egypt, the Ottomans did, So that's a bit unfair, but there you go. So we do have our top 10 in 10th place, 1 point ahead of Poland on 22. I think it's a tie, actually. No, it is not a tie. Okay, it is not a tie. I was just checking. With 23 points, it was France. Not as good as suspected, and in fact, if they didn't have the world's 4th biggest military, they would have not been in this top 10, and Poland would have been. But yeah, somehow they just did really well in military manpower as a stat. I think they are 4th behind the big 3 of the Netherlands, Russia, Assyria, I think is how you could coin it. So yeah, nothing too special from France. They actually only own 2 cities that weren't theirs. They conquered Neapolis in episode 1 within the first 50 turns, and Brussels later on. So they didn't do too much, so I guess this is fair enough. They are maybe going to lose this city as well, which might knock them out if we were to do it again in 10 turns time. So we'll move on to 9th place, which is a bit of a jump of 3 points. And this is another Civ who is sort of struggling at the moment, but has just about squeezed into the list, and that is Morocco. Yeah, there's not much left, but they were doing okay. They won a couple. They definitely won one of the categories, or came second a couple of times. So yeah, they got 26 points. We'll see what they did well in a second. But yeah, they came in 9th. Again, nothing. I can't really celebrate them at this point. They killed off Mali a little bit, but yeah, they'll probably be dead in a few turns too. Next up, 8th place, and only again a 2-point jump to 28 points. That is Sweden doing well. Yeah, they're going to conquer this. Again, they've done okay in Scandinavia. Again, they haven't really conquered anything. A few Danish cities. There was also a time when Denmark looked better than Sweden, but Sweden has just been tough and fought their way through to the end here. So they came 8th. Next up, 7th place is a monster of a jump. Oh my goodness. So Sweden was on 28 points. So in 7th place with 70 points. So yeah, you can see it was a lot more competitive at the top. So I don't know why I put France when I said I was talking about the 5 big Western Europeans. The Dutch, French, English, Rome and Portugal. I don't know why France was in that discussion. Obviously that was wrong. But their big militaries kept them alive, obviously. So yeah, up to 7th place with 70 points. And this is the closest part of this list. But I guess it was pretty close just to get on the list. The 9th, 10th and 11th sort of battle was pretty close in the 8th. But yeah, 7th, 6th and 5th are 4 points apart. Am I getting that right? Yes. Yeah, I've scrolled down too far, but yes it is. There we go. So 7th was Rome with 70. They had an exciting game. Most of it is settling their own cities, but they fought some battles. They were aggressive towards Spain and southern France, which was cool to see. So another, yeah, solid game from Rome, but they just weren't super strong. They didn't really... Again, they just didn't really do much. They could have done more, right? They could have probably beaten Greece or the Garamantes if they really went for it. So maybe just a bit of fear of the neighbours. And I'm hoping that sort of will start to disappear as we just keep pressing ridiculously far into the future in this game. 2 points ahead of them, and sadly probably a little bit too little too late. I'm sure they'll be one of the top civs, by about turn 450, potentially anyway. Depends how well they do, I guess. But Songhai with 72, yeah, a good ending. They're looking really strong now. They probably would have finished, I said how close. The next civ's only 2 points ahead. If they got Marrakesh, they would have come 6th. No, 5th, not 6th. They are 6th. But yeah, 6th place, good game from the Songhai. They took quite a while to get going, but they've been entertaining now, and we'll keep an eye on them going forward. Up into 5th, I guess the more prestigious top 5, because there's actually not that many civs left in this game. There's only like 15 left, so top 10 means you only have to be in the top 2/3 of the game. So top 5 a little bit more prestigious here. With 74 points, 2 ahead of the Songhai. It is the most populated nation in the game, still, for now. England, there you go. They've done an interesting game. They killed the Celts. They've explored Denmark. They took some stuff off France and Spain. Sorry. They've got Iceland. They've somehow managed to just build the biggest population in the world. So full credit to them. They've been entertaining. And yeah, 5th place. They held out. Bit of a bumpy ride as I was counting the numbers out for them. They seemed to do either really well or really bad. Like there was no in between for them. A few mid-ground performances, but yeah, they seem to be a bit up and down. But in the end, they held on for 5th place. Now up into 4th, there is a bit of a jump of 9 points. And this civ was very linked. They did beat England almost every single time. Like they almost mirrored each other a lot in the results actually. But Portugal, there you go, said it already. Portugal in 4th. Let's just go over there. Portugal came 4th, but yeah, they actually currently have the biggest military in the world, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, maybe that's it. They only won by 9, beat England by 9 points, so maybe that biggest military helped them. But whatever, they came fourth. There you go. They killed Spain. They've been very powerful. They've been a bit passive. They have not done anything for over 100 turns. They've literally just sat here. But conquering North Africa was pretty cool as well, so we'll give it to them. And now we are on to the top 3. Now it actually spreads out a little bit here. They were... Okay, I mean, look, we know... I think you all have a good idea of who's won. But the other 2 were very neck and neck, like for most of the stats. And then one of them pulled away at the end. So I'm going to try and just... I don't want to do too much suspense because I don't think there is much. I think, like I said, I think we know who's won. So also I may as well just say it. So in 2nd and 3rd place. So it's between these 2, Netherlands and Russia. I can confirm one got 108 points, one got 122. And the winning Civ definitely, left it late. Well, not winning, but, the 2nd place Civ definitely left it late to make their entrance into the game and had surprisingly really high levels of technology. That is Russia. They got 122. The Netherlands came 3rd with 108. I don't know how much, Russia took a lot more off of Poland. And that probably played into that because the Netherlands were way bigger than Russia and stuff before. Although there's more details to it as well. But regardless, both had fantastic games. The Netherlands well ahead of Portugal in 3rd. Or 4th and 3rd. And then Russia had a sort of a similar lead of about 14 points over the Netherlands. And yeah, Russia was really good. They came 2nd to Assyria in a lot of categories. And there you go. I mean, we all knew Assyria was going to win this one. They won with 137. So about a 15-point lead, which is about how many Info Addict categories there were. And, about 1 or 2 point lead on average for most of them over Russia, essentially. That is what that sort of tells you. And then again, it's the similar drop to the Netherlands, who were 3rd a lot of times. And even when they didn't win, it was sort of that order a lot of the time. So there we go. Congratulations, Assyria. I just need to check. I always forget this. Did anyone pick Assyria? Something tells me no. Not many people actually made picks this time, which is absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. Someone said Byzantium. Well, I hate to break it to you. Carthage, no. Yeah, AI's back. It's good. It's been good to be back with them. Denmark is fairly good. Morocco, no. England. England is actually the best performing pick. And they came 5th. Nobody predicted anyone who finished in the top 4, at least on episode 1. If you did leave a comment beyond episode 1, I do apologise, but I do normally say make sure to put it on episode 1, because that's what I'll check. But there we go. We'll now have a look at the Info Addicts in just a second. We are going to quickly do some of the other things we can look at first. Ideology-wise, there we go. The Order Civs are still going, and the Freedom ones have not given up yet. So Arabia, okay, some of these are dead, but there you go. What else do I wanted to look at? Religion is what I wanted to look at. Religious overview. The biggest religions, not changing too much. Islam from Mali, I think, was already in the lead, but with 70. Confucianism with 62 from Poland. Then there's a big drop to Buddhism from the Summa with 24. The other religions not so great. Eastern Orthodoxy with 13. 6 then for Catholicism and 2 for Hinduism. So Poland's religion still very strong across Europe, and then Mali's across Africa, I think, is mainly how this is spread out, and maybe Western Europe as well. But a lot of cities there. I mean, what's that? 132, 156, 170 if you add that. 178 cities have a religion. Right, biggest cities in the world, we'll quickly check. So Dongola led the way at 39, then it's Amsterdam 32, Lisbon, Babylon, Tagaza, and London all at 31, and the 30 club is completed by Moscow, Quasi Ibrim, and Rome. And here we go, Info Addict time. Boom, here we go. Let's have a look. The important category. So population was used. England lead the way with 74 million. Then it is Portugal, the Netherlands, Assyria, Russia, Rome, Mercuria, Songhai, France, and Sweden. Crop yield again is used. Assyria won that one, just ahead of the Netherlands, Russia, Portugal, England, Songhai, Rome, Sweden, Garamantes, and Greece. Production, another important one, was definitely used. Assyria with a massive lead of about 500 million tons. Russia and the Netherlands again neck and neck. The Netherlands winning out on this one for now. Portugal then a big drop in 4th, about 300 below Russia. Rome, the Songhai, all very close. In fact, 1 million tons between the Rome and Songhai. The Roman Empire and Songhai. There we go. England, Sweden, Greece, and Mercuria filling out that list. There is the Huns. Yeah, I feel like they're going to be 13th on every single list, sadly. We are now using G and P. I didn't used to, but we are, because most civs have net gold that is negative, so I didn't think that was very worthwhile celebrating. and obviously it's not unit counting. So this is just based purely on gold income from your cities and from trade routes. Nothing to do with what you spend on units. None of that matters. So Assyria is winning by quite a long way, biggest economy. The Netherlands then is second with a good gap to Russia as well. Portugal then in fourth, England fifth, Rome in sixth, Songhai seventh, France in eighth, Garamantes ninth, Sweden 10th. That might be the closest one to mirroring the exact results. It's not perfect, but I'd say 6 or 7 of those are correct or close. Land area is also used. Assyria well out in front with 5.7 million square kilometers. Then it is the Songhai now in second with 3.98, just ahead of Russia on 3.84, which is obviously a big increase. They've grown, probably doubled in size since that Poland war, maybe. I guess the borders over the mountain range that's blocking off the map does help a little bit as well. The Netherlands with 3.49 million in fourth. Portugal also in the 3 million club in fifth. England then at 2.9. Garamantes 2.4. Sweden 2, same as Rome. And Greece is bang on 2 actually, just in 10th place. Again, poor old Attila just down 15th. I feel bad. How did they get... The Ottomans actually stole away a point and they didn't. Current military manpower, of course, this is affected by the ongoing wars. Portugal with 1.155 million. The Netherlands just behind at 1.152. Russia then in third and Assyria in fourth, all with over 1 million. Then there's a 250,000 drop down to France at 758,000. England at 705,000. Rome with 669,000. Mercuria up there as well. Sweden and the Songhai. Approval is not used because they're all at 100%. Look, you only need like 10 happiness or whatever to get 100% approval. Or I don't know how exactly it works, but it's not difficult, right? It's a bit harsh to give the top 10 when they're all equal. Literacy is again pretty similar, a lot of ties, and also again we have the technologies list for why I use literacy. Social standing is used, and this is one where Poland and Morocco probably pushed themselves up the list a bit higher than maybe they deserved at the end, but for the whole game, I think it's fair enough to include them. It was very harsh on Poland that they didn't even make the top 10, really. A few turns later, they might still have snuck in. Well, they would have, because they only needed 1 point, and they would have got in. Poland with 38, Morocco 31, Russia, Assyria, and Portugal on 30, France 29, England 29, Rome 28, Byzantium 26, and the Netherlands 25. Happiness, I did use happiness. I was trying to work it out. I did. This is where the Ottomans stole that point looking 14th, I believe. So Assyria got the most. Rome, Egypt, Poland, the Netherlands, England, Morocco, Greece. Then Arabia wasn't counted. So Russia got 2 points instead of 1. And then Carthage, Byzantium, Babylon's dead. So the Ottomans stole the final point away there. Attila was nowhere to be seen. He's not even on. Oh, there he is with 8. Not too many unhappy nations, which is pretty unusual. Normally you get quite a lot in this. But only Songhai and Portugal. And obviously the Songhai have done a lot of conquering recently. Technologies, here we go, here's a big one. I mean, we can look from the bottom, it doesn't tell us how many civs are left. Russia and Assyria leading the way with 80. I don't know who got there first. It didn't affect the result in the end, but yeah, there you go. I did give Russia the 10 out of the, just to stick with how we always do it. But yeah, it's a little scary. Maybe, I was always hoping it did stick in the order they got there. It might do if you don't reload the game. I don't know, whatever. Look, we're not going to rewrite history. It's for a shout out. If you literally went and changed your comment before the final episode, I probably wouldn't notice. Like, you're going to be fine. If you want to shout out, you really desperately want one, that's all you got to do. I mean, I respond to all the comments anyway. And now I'm streaming, you can literally just hop in and get one. Like, you just say hello and I will say hello to you. So there we go. Maybe it's not as prestigious as it used to be to get it right. Although it is a good feeling to actually pick right. But there you go. Russia, either way, led the way there with Assyria also on 80. Rome, quite a fallback on 72. Surprisingly second in technology, actually. I didn't realise that. The Netherlands, Songhai, Poland, and Sweden all on 71. Portugal is 70. England and Mercuria, 69, 66 there. Net gold was not used because, again, I mean, actually there is 10 with positive gold for once. I feel like we've created a better world than normal here. Maybe it's because it's not domination only. They haven't built as many units. I don't know. But there you go, most of them managing to manage their money. Portugal is just running themselves into complete debt, but there you go. I did see another one we don't use is total gold or treasury. I'll show you that in a minute. Some of them have got some ridiculous treasuries. It's quite funny. We didn't use that. Cities is used, and it is the best way for me to tell. 17 civs survived. No, 16 got till... No, yeah, 17, because I'm not included in this list. 17 civs made it to the end with one city. Only the Huns did not score a point. The other 16 did. there you go. So 1 for the Ottomans and Poland at the moment. 4 then for Morocco and the Huns still. 7 for Egypt and Mercuria. That's a tie. Oh yeah, Egypt did better out of the fall of Arabia. I was certain Mercuria had more, but yeah, Egypt grabbed more out of Arabia. France with 10, Greece with 11, and Rome also with 11. England and the Garamantes and Sweden have 12. 14 for Portugal, 21 for the Songhai. The Netherlands and Russia, this is set up perfectly going forward, tied on 22. And Assyria lead the way with 26, only 4 ahead. I think the Netherlands, Russia, and the Songhai might catch Assyria if they don't do anything. Obviously at the moment they're just sort of sat there doing nothing, but obviously we're going to keep going. Science per term was again used. Assyria with a massive lead, not that it matters anymore, they're at the top of the tech tree. Russia with 2nd place, the Netherlands then 3rd, Portugal 4th, England 5th, Rome 6th, Songhai 7th, France 8th, Sweden 9th, and the Garamantes in 10th. Culture was also used. Assyria again won that with a massive lead. Jesus, they're over double what Russia has in 2nd. Rome in 3rd, the Netherlands, Portugal, Songhai, England, Greece, France, Morocco, and Egypt. Wonders was used. Russia leads the way, tied with Assyria on 8. Morocco, the Songhai, Netherlands, and Portugal with 5. Mercuria 3, England and Egypt with 2, and Rome with 1. Greece just rolled the short straw there. Sorry, Greece. Sorry, 1 point off. Or level. But here you go. Treasury was not used. I just want to clarify. It's not used. Some civs spend their money, some don't. It's not really fair to categorize based on that. As you can see, Poland currently has 75,000 gold in millions, which is probably just 75,000 gold. Like in their banner at the top of the screen, if we were playing, they would just have 75k. So maybe they could still buy a ton of units and do fine. I don't know what they'll do with that. And I don't know. I don't think, do other civs steal it away? I'm not sure. But if someone was to kill them, obviously, the Netherlands are trying. That'd be a lot of gold. The Netherlands then in 2nd, Russia, England, Mercuria, Assyria, Egypt, Songhai, Portugal, and the Garamantes. We didn't use that. That did not contribute 20 points. Neither did Total Faith or Faith Gain, but feel free to pause if you want to go through those. But we did look at religion separately. I didn't use them because, again, a lot of these civs don't even have their own religion, so I don't think it's a fair way to judge them. Assyria just conquered a load of other stuff that gave them faith. Like, I don't know if that's a fair assessment. Influence was not used, mainly because everyone is practically tied, apart from Assyria, all on 5 and 4. I also, not to say it's rigged, but, you know, Poland would have come, like, 7th or 6th if I... no, 8th if I didn't, so... There we go, you know, we tried to balance it a bit, but yeah, I mean, they're all tied. 8s and 5s and 4s, it felt a bit harsh that when there's that many ties. It's the same reason we don't use trade routes, because, I mean, pretty much everyone's on 8. Like, I don't mind if 1 or 2 is tied and it's a bit harsh, but, like, when there's that many, it seems a bit unfair for there to be a 6-point gap, or in this case, 9, between 3rd and 10th or whatever. Great Works was used. Russia won there. Assyria, Songhai, England, Egypt, the Netherlands, Morocco, Portugal, Rome, and Sweden. And Tourism was also used. Russia won there. Assyria in 2nd, the Songhai, Netherlands, Rome, England, Portugal, Sweden, France, and Egypt. But that will be it for this episode, not this series, despite this being the results. I know it's a bit confusing if you're new around here. We will continue to push the game, but we have to have the results sort of around when the best civs reach the top of the tech tree, just because it's a bit unfair on them if not, because they can't really progress while the others will catch them. So yeah, we do have the results a little bit earlier. But yes, we will now progress. The goal is to get to turn 500. Like I said, I'm not sure how we'll do that video style. If you do feel it's getting a bit long-winded, just keep watching. Then be sure to comment. Obviously, I'm not going to be starting any new battle until this one's done. I just want to make that very clear. But yeah, there will be a plan. I'll probably start planning the new one this weekend. And yeah, within a week, I'd say like mid-February, early to mid-February weekend, whichever weekends it is, you know. Probably not, I don't know how long this one's got left. We'll figure it out, right? It will happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel and haven't done so already. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Grid, no grid.